station of Fox Sports.
We are Fox. We are Southwest.
Texas Rangers bats have reignited this homestand against Toronto and Seattle. Ballpark fans have been awed by the team's 12 home runs in just 4 games, and 3 of those by Nelson Cruz, who's batting .421 during the stretch with 11 runs batted in. Cruz, along with starting pitcher Scott Feldman, take on the Mariners right now on Fox Sports Southwest. Sunny, warm, and again windy here at Rangers Ballpark in Arlington as the Rangers get set for Game 2 of this series against the Seattle Mariners. Rangers winning last night, minus Josh Hamilton. For more, here's Jim Nuttles.
Ranger fans excited because Josh Hamilton Day back in the lineup. We'll have more on Josh Hamilton, the first pitch between the Rangers and Mariners, coming up next on Fox Sports Southwest. Hamilton! 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 Hamilton!
On Fox Sports Southwest, brought to you by your Texas Ford dealers. Visit your local Ford dealer and drive the 2012 F-150 Motor Trend Truck of the Year. Ford is the best in Texas. And by the Progressive Insurance Group. For a money-saving car insurance quote, call 1-800-PROGRESSIVE today. Welcome, Dave Barnett, along with Tom Green. Mariners and the Rangers seeing a lot of each other last week and these 3 games this week. And in Seattle, Ranger bats felt pretty silent, but not the case so far here, and Nelson Cruz has been right in the middle of it.
Yeah, you know, Nelly Cruz went through a little stretch where he struggled a little bit, but the thing about power hitters, they can be very streaky. And it looks like Nelson has entered another streak, this one very positive, against Toronto. The first home run he hit, upper deck about 5 rows back to right field. Then he heated up to left field, just about as far to left center field. And then he carried it into the Seattle series last night against Kevin Millwood and dropped one into the triangle for a short one, about 347 feet. So 3 home runs for Nelly on this homestand.
Pretty good 3 weeks there at 358. And for more on the Rangers offense these days, let's welcome Emily Jones.
Well, guys, as you well know, Nelson Cruz not the only guy busting out of a slump on this homestand. Guys like Michael Young, Mike Napoli have also made their way back to the plate and seem to be back in good fashion. It does appear that the Ranger bats are back in business.
We came back home and something clicked, doing a lot better.
Terrible.
Hopefully that will be the case. We keep swinging the bat the way we are right now, more consistent. And we know we're not going to be swinging the bat, great the whole year, but trying to limit it to be more consistent and win some games, even though we're not swinging the bat well.
Adrian Beltre with tonight's Geico quote of the game, and that's the bottom line, is that this team is finding ways to win even when things aren't clicking on all cylinders. It does, however, appear that this Rangers offense is headed in the right direction, guys.
Does look that way after 3 very quiet games offensively last week in Seattle. And Scott Feldman taking the mound to make his 4th start of the year, and here's the Eric Wedge lineup he'll face today. We'll begin with the second baseman, Dustin Ackley. Alex Liddy is in left field and batting second, ahead of Ichiro in right. Jesus Montero is the DH batting cleanup, with Kyle Seager at third. Justin Smoke at first. John Jaso is behind the plate. Center fielder batting 8th, Michael Saunders, and the shortstop, Brendan Ryan, will hit 9th as we look at the Nissan scouting report on Scott.
Well, he's 0-2 on the season. He's had 8 games total, 3 of them starts. Opponent's batting average, right-hand hitters have touched him up at 382. Left-hand hitters, not so well, 250 points lower. Last Wednesday at Seattle, he pitched into the 5th inning. They didn't hit him very hard, but unfortunately Scott had control problems in that game and walked 5 batters. Between that start and this start, he threw some live batting practice trying to simulate spring training when he got his pitch count up to around 100 and was in great shape to start. And I think he's going to feel a lot better starting today. He'll feel more like a routine rather than a surprise spot start.
Here's the Ranger defense behind Scott. Outfield of Hamilton, Gentry, and Cruz. With Beltre, Andrus, Kinsler, and Napoli. The infield and his catcher, Jorge Torrealba. Hamilton back in the lineup after sitting out with an upper respiratory problem last night. So today still really doesn't feel much difference, but good to go. Hope he doesn't have any dizzy spells, doesn't see stars at any point. This has happened already during the course of this upper respiratory infection. Dustin Ackley looks at strike 1. A 90-degree evening in Arlington, Texas, and that's foul back. No balls and 2 strikes. DJ Rayburn, home plate umpire, with Jim Wolf at first. The crew chief is Darrell Cousins at second, and Ron Culpa is at third. Feldman's 0-2 pitch. Laid off the curve a little low and wide.
That's exactly where he tried to throw it, too. You can see Jorvit pat his glove on the ground, and Scott threw it exactly there, and Ackley just was able to lay off it.
Pop foul. Ackley held out of the game last night against Matt Harrison. No, not because Eric Wedge was all too aware that Ackley is 0 for 15 lifetime against Harrison.
Yeah, the guys on the bench didn't have a hit off Matt Harrison in their careers.
Line drive right to Elvis Andrus for the first out.
Oh, well hit ball by Ackley. Fortunately, he's right at Elvis. 1 up, 1 down.
That will bring up Alex Liddy, who was in left field tonight. He was the third baseman last night. They've also used him for 5 games at first base this year. And so far in these matchups, Liddy has had much the better of it than has Feldman. 5th start in left field for Liddy tonight. That is a foul ball. Ron Culpa with the view, looking right down the foul line.
Good call. Pretty close, but a good call. Definitely a call. Remember, a ground ball doesn't have to land in fair territory. It just has to go over the base fair to be a fair ball. Liddy hit the grand slam in Seattle on a fastball on the inside corner, about belt high and in. Hit the line shot to left field on a pitch that actually wasn't a terrible pitch. Just pretty good job of hitting a tough inside pitch.
Yeah, it went for a grand slam on the final pitch. Scott Feldman would throw in that game. A 5-3 Mariners win.
They could have weathered the storm of the home run. It was just the walks that got in the way of a decent performance.
A couple of near misses, and Jim Wolf down at first says he didn't go.
Yep, he held up.
So 3 balls and a strike, and the Feldman delivery is lifted out to right center field, and it is Craig Gentry making the call, and the catch for out number 2.
Yeah, good pitch. 3-1 cutter, just like a slider, only a little bit harder. 89 miles an hour. Behind in the count, got Liddy to pop it up.
So with 2 outs, here is Ichiro. And at 290 against Feldman, looks pretty good. It's nowhere near where Suzuki is against most pitchers. 2001 through 2010, 10 straight 200 hit campaigns. And he looked at this one down low. Last couple of years, though, Ichiro has not done much damage at all to Ranger pitching. Slashed that one foul. Ichiro now 38. Coming off by far his worst offensive season since he came to the majors. He had 272 last year. That is his lowest batting average by some 31 points. And looks at that one down low. Last year, not getting on base as much as they need their leadoff man to do, so he hits third this year. Waves at that one.
Great cutter right there. 91 miles an hour. Watch the ball cut right in on the fists. Beautiful pitch.
The 2-2 fouled off of Torrealba. He may need a moment to shake that one off a little bit. Ichiro reaches. Jesus Montero would be next. 2 streaking teams. Rangers have won 4 straight. The Mariners have lost 5 in a row and 6 of their last 7. Little inside for a full count now.
You know, there might have been times where you pitch Ichiro carefully. Right here, you just say, don't walk him. And that's why.
Right back to Feldman to complete a 1-2-3 Seattle first. Kinsler and the Rangers coming to bat. for the Seattle Mariners, and the Ranger lineup will begin with second baseman Kinsler and the shortstop Andrews. Josh Hamilton back in the lineup in left and batting third. Adrian Beltre is at third, batting cleanup. Michael Young is the DH with Cruz and Wright Napoli at first. Torrey Alba catching, and Craig Gentry hitting ninth and playing center field. A Nissan scouting report on Jason Vargas, 29-year-old from Apple Valley, California. Eating up the innings, third most in the league and the 8th toughest pitcher in terms of opponent batting average in the American League. Kinsler goes after the first pitch, hits a towering fly ball out to left center field. A little bit of a sun field out there, but Saunders brings it in. Seattle defense best in the league. Liddy, Saunders, and Ichiro the outfield. Seager, Ryan, Ackley, and Smoke are the infielders, and Jaso is behind the plate.
Yeah, when you look at the year that Jason Vargas is having so far, he's actually having a better year than Felix Hernandez. Hernandez has given up 72 hits in 76 innings. Vargas has only given up 56 hits in about the same amount of innings. He's had an extra start. They opened up over in Japan, and so they played a couple of games and came back, had some time off, and then started the season again. Pitched over there and then pitched again. So he's had an extra start on most pitchers, why he's got so many innings. But he's been a quality starter for the last couple of years, and he's off to an even better start this year. Not a hard thrower, although he's got a decent fastball. He's got a good assortment of breaking balls and a really good changeup. He can throw the changeup behind in the count, 2-0, 3-1, and that gives hitters fits.
1-1. And the pitch to Elvis. Down the right field line, and it is a fair ball. Into the corner it goes. Elvis Andrus has a one-out double.
They had a double last night early in the ball game that he lined to left center field. One hopped the wall. This time a pitch away, and he drives Vargas's fastball down the right field line.
Fair by plenty, as it turned out.
Yeah. Vargas has pretty good deception in his delivery. Like Felix Hernandez, he turns his back on the hitter, which hides the ball and makes it a little tougher to pick up.
So here is Hamilton, who looks at a strike. As we look at Elvis Andrus, safe at second. Safe and secure New York life. Hamilton, given the day yesterday to feel better with his upper respiratory issues. And it's no balls and 2 strikes. I was saying before the game, didn't really feel better, but it can't get worse. And so with the rest, told Ron Washington earlier today he would be good to go. Vargas not a quick worker as he stares down Andrus, and Hamilton just manages to stay alive.
It's pretty obvious why a manager wants his star player in the lineup even when he's not 100%. And a perfect example of that was the game-winning home run that Josh had the other day. You know, he's not swinging the bat very well. He's exhausted. He has no strength. He's fouling fastballs down the left field line. But he got the changeup and he drove it out of the ballpark to win a game. And that's something your star player can do that his replacement can't do. He's got a chance with one swing of the bat to win a game for you. That's why a manager will say, I want my star, whoever it might be, if he's 75%, rather than whoever's going to take his place for that very reason. Presence in the lineup.
Vargas not able to get him chasing a couple of offerings here. 1-2 pitch. Lets that one bounce away from Jaso, and Elvis will easily jog down to third, and only now does Vargas find the ball.
If it was a little farther away, he might have had a chance, but it's so close to home plate, there's nothing Elvis could do. Little slider right into the dirt. And watch Jaso has no idea where it is. Josh is in his way. He can't see past Josh. Vargas picks it up, and Jaso has home plate covered. Nothing they could do. But gives Josh a chance to pick up a run right here if he can put the ball in play. Fly ball. Ground ball. The infield is way back. Unless he hits one right at the pitcher, right at the third baseman.
Josh with 53 runs batted in. That is a fair ball right down the line. Smoke will get the out at first, but Hamilton does the job. He brings Andrews home and gives the Rangers a 1-0 lead.
And doing the job doesn't have to be fancy in that situation. It's just making contact. Josh fell behind in the count, had a couple of strikes on him. Vargas couldn't get him to swing at the breaking balls out of the strike zone, so he tried a fastball. Josh didn't do much with it, but all he had to do was keep it fair on the ground, and Rangers pick up their first run, and Josh picks up RBI number 54.
Josh started the day 12 RBIs ahead of his nearest competitor, Edwin Encarnacion. And Beltre rips the first pitch he sees out to Ichiro. But the Rangers take the lead in their half of the first. Means Jim Knox time.
All right, thanks, Dave. Ranger fans excited about another win, huh? We ready? Oh, very vocal crowd tonight. Community Corner tonight. We're talking about longtime manager, friend of the Rangers, Bobby Bragan. Established the Bobby Bragan Foundation a few years ago. What this is all about the kids, helping them stay in school. They grant scholarships. To find out more, log on to BobbyBragan.org. That's BobbyBragan.org. What a great individual, Bobby Bragan. Dave?
All right, here is Montero, who looks for the first pitch strike. Jesus batting .253, 6 homers. That, along with his 23 RBIs, top figures among all AL rookies. Wafted to right field, drifting back just a few steps is Cruz. You know, Tom, talking about Bobby Bragan, I can't remember meeting anybody else in baseball who had more methods and willingness to deal with anyone who came into his path. He just immediately made you feel like you're a long-lost friend.
Yeah, I agree. When Bobby was in his heyday, there wasn't a better public speaker in the world. He could sing, he could play the piano, he could recite poetry, he could tell baseball stories that were hilarious all day long, and his delivery was just about impeccable.
Kyle Seager jumps on the first pitch and gets the first Mariner hit off Feldman.
Bobby was a baseball ambassador. He was one of a kind. There was nobody like him. You think at Bobby's funeral, Bobby, you know, you hate to say this about a funeral, but it was one of the most entertaining events I've ever been to. Had 3 or 4 speakers that captured the essence of Bobby Bragan perfectly. And the music for 45 minutes before the funeral was Bobby playing the piano and singing.
Really?
He did sing at his own funeral.
Wow.
Everybody that walked into the funeral, as soon as they heard the music, just started smiling. That's Bobby. That's what everybody said when they got there.
Arlington Stadium used to have first. There was an upright piano in the media dining room, and he would entertain.
That's all he needed.
Writers, broadcasters, whoever happened in there, he'd take requests.
Yeah, he was great.
Great ragtime chops, too. Sorely missed. Justin Smoke, the former Ranger. And a good-looking first pitch strike.
Good curveball today. Good cutter today so far for Scott.
Justin last night went 0 for 4, but he's been lifting his average steadily over about the last 3 weeks, and he needed to because he really had a rough month of April. Over at first, and Seager is back. Smoke's average not long ago was down at 173, but he has lifted it some 45 points to 218 beginning play tonight. Their homer leader was 7. Dribbles that one foul. No balls and 2 strikes. Mariners 21-30. Last in the West, 11 games behind the Rangers. Not that they would use this as an excuse, but they have had the toughest schedule in baseball in terms of way more road games than home games, including a trip to Japan, of course, to open the season against Oakland. Smoke lays off that one in the dirt. After this series, the Mariners will have played 31 road games and only 22 home games. Tell the story further. They're a below 500 team no matter where they play, including Safeco Field. But that will take a toll. Eric Wedge would say that without making it sound like an excuse. This is always a tough place for the Mariners. They've lost 13 of their last 15 meetings here at the ballpark. Broken back ground ball. Kinsler with the play at second base. At first, not quite in time for 2.
Yeah, just a little too slowly hit, and it was pulled a little bit too much toward first base. It was a long throw for Ian. If this ball's hit 5 feet toward second base where Ian is going to his right, then they have a chance. But on that kind of a ball, there's very few people you're going to throw out at first base on a double play on that ball. But they get the lead runner and replace him with a slower runner, so it's still a positive thing.
And with 2 outs and Smoke at first, batter will be John Jaso, the catcher tonight. He was the DH last night and was their leadoff hitter. Went 0 for 4. Currently trying to end a 1 for 13 stretch. And the curve drops in again for Feldman. Scott has thrown a first pitch strike to 6 of the 7 Mariners he's faced so far. Overall 17 strikes against just 8 balls. That one's a little tight. Feldman against Seattle has lost his last 3 starts, including Wednesday 5-3 the Liddy grand slam in the 5th inning. High drive carrying well to center field. Gentry looks up and it is gone. John Jaso hits his 2nd home run of the season, and he gives Seattle a 2-1 lead.
That's one you don't expect to give up right there. Jaso obviously not known for his home run ball. Pitch out over the plate, drives it out of the ballpark.
Not quite up onto the hill. He'll take it, though. Here is Michael Saunders. He sees a first pitch curve in there for a strike. Only the third homer allowed this year by Feldman. But the Rangers 1-0 lead, short-lived at this point. Saunders pretty much every game the center fielder this year, with Franklin Gutierrez on the DL. A lot of room out there for this drive, and Gentry brings it in. And that'll do it for the top half of the second, but the Jaso blast has Seattle up 2-1. New show called Chevy Hometown Kids. It's not about the score, it's about the experience. So tune in each Saturday at 10 a.m. here on Fox Sports Southwest, or visit hometownkids.tv for more information. So the Rangers down 2-1 as Michael Young leads off the bottom of the second, looks at a strike. Young to be followed by Cruz and Napoli. Michael hitting third last night. Had a hit in 4 trips. High and over toward the line, down to Ichiro for the first out. So Vargas has retired 4 of the 5 hitters he has placed. Ball looks in for Elvis. And here's Nelly Cruz. In the first game of this series, 2 for 4, homered, stole the base. I think she likes her baseball. I think she loves her Rangers. Breaking ball for a strike, and it evens up to Cruz. Nelly with a hit and an RBI in all 4 games of this homestand so far. 2 balls and a strike. And foul straight back, and it's even up. We're going to good role Cruz finds himself on now. He's been searching for a stretch like this all year. But it has arrived. All starting to fly out of here off his bat. Way up high to full count. Rangers for the first time this year 13 over 500 at 31-18. That's low. Cruz takes the 1-out walk. Hitting the road, take the Rangers with you this season. Subscribe to MLB.tv today and see every Rangers out-of-market game live online and on your favorite devices in HD quality. Visit TexasRangers.com to order and get more details. MLB.tv, baseball everywhere. So 1 out, 1 on, and here is Napoli. Mike has homered in back-to-back games now, including the 3-run shot in the 6th last night to provide the winning margin. And after the longest drought of his career, he'd gone 24 games without going deep. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Vargas is kind of the definition of a solid number 3 or 4 starter when you look at his last 2 seasons. He's averaged about 200 innings. Gets terrible run support, so his record is only 19-25 the last 2 years, but his ERA is below 4. Which is pretty solid. Pitches much better at home than he does on the road. Almost 2 points better in his career at home than on the road. Rangers beat him earlier in the season 5-3.
Slow roller to third, and the off-balance throw by Seager retires Napoli. Cruz moves up to second. He is there with 2 outs now for Yorvi Torrealba.
You can't play third base in the big leagues if you can't make that play. A little slower and you have to barehand it. That's a little tougher, but that play's a nice play that you have to make to be a big league third baseman.
So now Torrealba hit Vargas very well, as you can see. 500 with a homer. Yorvi's average at .221. 2 homers, 5 runs batted in. Let's have his home run stroke appear. Torrealba keeps the inning going. Gentry would be next. 1-0 pitch. That's in there for a strike. Vargas off a 10-13 season last year. 3 of his 10 wins shutouts. That tied for 3rd in the league. Strike at the knees. Not even quite as close as it looked like first time watching it. So 1 ball, 2 strikes. Foul tip. Jaso hangs on. First strikeout for Vargas. No runs. A man left in the Rangers second. 2-1 Mariners. West is brought to you by Geico Insurance. 15 minutes could save you 15% on car insurance. Visit us at geico.com. By the all-new Mazda CX-5 with 35 highway MPG. And by Ace Cash Express, earning your trust since 1968. They win the prize. Most miles traveled to see the Rangers in action. Brendan Wright leads off the third. Number 9 hitting shortstop, hitting just 176 on the year. A homer and 9 runs batted in. The curve working pretty nicely for Feldman here in the early innings.
Yeah, one of the more exciting plays of the year was created by Ryan last night on the ball that he hit past Gentry to the wall, got thrown out trying for an inside the park home run.
For a strikeout for Scott Feldman, here's Emily Jones.
Well, guys, we are almost 2 months into this season, and Scott Feldman is making just his 9th appearance, 5 out of the bullpen in relief. And so in an effort to see some more live batters, he took live BP on Saturday. He said it was just an opportunity to see some more live action, which you can't get in the bullpen, quite obviously. Ron Washington says he's been forced to make adjustments on the fly in games, and because those appearances have been so limited, he hasn't had ample time to do that. So hopefully that will do him some good here tonight. 2 runs already given up, but still a ways to go, as you know, gentlemen.
Yeah, Scott looks like he's throwing the ball fine. He just, got a pitch out over the plate, which pretty hard to throw 100 pitches in a game without throwing some pitches out over the plate to a guy you don't expect to hit a home run. And not quite as afraid to do it to a guy like Jaso, but the big league player, and he drove it out of the park to dead center field. A little bit of a fluke, I would say.
1-2 pitch to Ackley is foul back. Mariners first saw Feldman April 9th. He worked a scoreless 9th inning in Yu Darvish's debut. And he went around. Torrealba with the toss down to first for the second out.
A couple of people to recognize, Dave. We want to recognize Bill Youngblood and his wife Deanne. They're celebrating their 57th anniversary at the ballpark tonight. Glad to have you here. Congratulations. Also want to wish a happy birthday to Lavonda Wilkins. Great Ranger fan. Happy birthday, Lavonda.
Alex Liddy, first ball hitting.
Didn't know Liddy was going to do that, or I would have waited. Have to get him after the half inning.
A towering pop-up put away by Napoli, and a 9-pitch 1-2-3 third turned in by Scott Feldman. Sports Southwest is brought to you by Columbia Pictures movie That's My Boy, starring Adam Sandler and Andy Samberg, in theaters June 15th. Mariners leading this one 2-1 in the bottom of the third. It'll be Gentry, Kinsler, and Andrews. Jason Vargas has allowed only one hit. That was a first inning double by Elvis, who came around to score. Gentry somehow jackknifing out of the way of that pitch.
Seen that 3 times in the last week. A Ranger hitter looked like the ball, there's no way the ball can miss him, and it somehow does. I think one of them was Nelly Cruz, almost the same way. Got to be an athlete to get out of the way of that pitch.
One ball, no strike pitch. That's inside. It's 2-0. Craig in an 0 for 10 last 7 games. Sends that one toward the gap. Ichiro is there to run it down. Saturday, June 16th, the Lone Star Series continues here in Arlington, and the Rangers will turn back the clock to 1986. Be one of the first 30,000 fans to arrive for the 6:15 start, and you'll get a Nolan Ryan retro T-shirt from Sweet Baby Ray's. Get your tickets before they're gone at TexasRangers.com. That was a good, clean, classic look back in the 80s. Here's Kinsler. He flied to center on his only pitch he saw at his first at bat. One ball, one strike. Lifted high, same area, out to right center field. Same result. Ichiro for out number 2. Here's Jim Knox.
All right, here they are, Dave. The fans that traveled the furthest to watch the Rangers came all the way from Alaska. Big-time Ranger fans. How many flights did it take to get here?
Took us 3 flights. Seemed like a lot more. 3 flights, though.
All right, well worth it, though. You'll be in for another game and root on the Rangers.
Hopefully.
All right, there we go. Good to have you out here. Good to have the folks from Alaska. Good day, mate. Thank you very much. All right,
That's just a blanket. So long.
That's what we say
for everybody.
Good day, mate. Doesn't matter where you're from. You can be from Russia. You're going to get that.
What if they can see Russia from their house? Strike 1 to Elvis. First inning double, took third at a wild pitch, scored on a ground out by Josh Hamilton.
Chuck Kelly is the broadcast voice of the Oklahoma Sooners baseball team. He and his wife Amanda welcomed their second child last night, daughter Cameron. Congratulations, Chuck and Amanda.
Ichiro drifting toward the line this time, but it stops in fair territory, and he makes all 3 putouts in 1, 2, 3, bottom of the third. John Jaso in the second inning hit his second home run of the year. A 2-run blast. Rangers got their run in the first. Elvis double and scoring on the Hamilton ground out. So on to the fourth inning we go, and it's Ichiro, Montero, and Seager. Scott Feldman very sharp. 28 strikes against 11 balls. He has struck out 2 and allowed only 2 base hits. Ichiro grounded back to the mound in the first.
One thing you have to say about Ichiro is his average may have slumped the last year and into this season, but he goes out there and plays every day. He doesn't miss many games. He had 677 at bats last year, played in 161 games, played in 162 games the year before that. So he definitely answers the bell every year. 326 career hitter, hit 50 points less than that last year, and he's right about 50 points less than that this year.
Sharply grounded right to Napoli. Here's Jim Knox.
All right, thanks, Dave. Real quick, the Texas Rangers Tools for Success program, which is teamed up with Whataburger, helps these 8th graders right here, equip them ready for life, making intelligent lifestyle decisions. And, you know, teachers on DVDs, handouts highlighting the unique stories from National Baseball Hall of Fame. You got Nolan Ryan talking, Ron Washington, a lot of the current Ranger players. And the winner this year, Rusk Middle School, received $5,000 grand prize donation for the Rangers and Whataburger for the opportunity to meet Rangers pitcher Colby Lewis. To find out more, log on to TexasRangers.com/foundation. These 8th graders loved it, right? There we go. Happy about that. All right, check that out, TexasRangers.com/foundation. Dave?
All right, Jesus Montero looks to the ball. He flied to right his first time up. There's the curve.
I want to have a nice shout out and say hi to George Atkinson and his friend Roger Williams. George is 93, Roger is 96. They live in a nursing home in Itasca, Texas, and they watch all the Ranger games together. So George and Roger, I hope you're watching right now. Thanks for being such great Ranger fans. Cookie Monster.
He wants Cookie.
They want Cookie. Okay, we can handle that.
We got Cookie.
Come by. We just happen to have a delicious chocolate coconut macaroon for you if you get by here in a hurry. Patty Kennedy made those for us. Patty also asked this question, Dave. If a hitter hits the ball out of the ballpark and breaks his leg while he's doing it and can't stand up in the batter's box, can't run around the bases, what happens? So I went into the press box and asked everybody, and we all agree it's a home run. Some people said it's an automatic home run. Some people say you have to get a pinch runner who would actually circle the bases. But no one sees it in the rule book. No one knows for sure, other than we do know for sure it is a home run.
Lifted over to Hamilton in left field, number 2.
I'd say most people think you have to have someone pinch run and circle the bases.
Two outs, it'll bring up Kyle Seager. He singled back in the second inning. Now, what if you had a couple of your teammates come out and carry you around the bases?
I get a wheelbarrow.
Well, so many rules exist because a situation presented itself in a real life game, and no one had thought to decide once and for all how that situation would be handled. I have to assume this has never actually happened.
Well, Eric Josephson reminded us that it did happen in a girls' college softball game, and the other team picked the girl up and carried her around the bases.
I remember that.
So,
yeah.
you know, there's an example of it happening. But I think the rules, Major League Baseball rules, are probably a little bit different than softball rules, just a guess. And somehow, I can't see the opposing team in Major League Baseball picking the guy up and running him around the bases.
Maybe not.
I don't know that sportsmanship goes to quite that extent.
But didn't Jimmy Pearsall run the bases backwards
he
hit out?
They say he did. I don't know if he really did, but that is a legend. I don't know if he really did that or not. Anyway, Patty, thanks for the question. We'll try to come up with a definitive answer. And thanks also for the macaroons. Because James Nobles, one of our cameramen, James cooked his world famous barbecue. Thank you, James. Not just for us, but for everybody involved with the show tonight. All the cameramen, all the guys down in the truck. James, you're the best. Homemade sausage, brisket, ribs, you name it. Everything you'd want in a barbecue dinner, Big James provided.
Here's the 3-2 pitch to Seager. And that is ripped into the corner. Kyle Seager around first. And he will put on the brakes there with a 2-out double. Just the third Mariner hit. Seager has 2 of them.
Curveball caught the middle of the plate. Seager waited on it nicely. He's got a couple of hits tonight.
So scoring position for Kyle with 2 outs. And the batter will be Justin Smoke. Justin reached on a fielder's choice. He was able to beat the relay to first and prevent a 4-6-3 double play. And then the next man up, Jaso, hit 1 out. So again, Smoke batting with an opportunity to do something about the score.
You know, Dave, somewhere listening to this game, there has to be an umpire out there or a rules expert that can help us with that.
I would hope so.
We are not rules experts.
I just kind of wonder if there is a rule for something that I have to assume in baseball, at least,
it's never
must
happened.
never have happened. Yeah, maybe there is.
They must have some kind of rule for it, because if it happens, the umpires have to know what to do. They can't just all look at the opposing managers and go, "Hey, I don't know. What do you think we should do?"
Let's take a vote.
And one manager says, "I don't think it counts. If he can't get around the bases."
Two balls and no strikes to Smoke. He has circled the bases 7 times this year.
Remember the ball Kirk Gibson hit? He got around the bases, though.
That's right. He was cranking the lawnmower engine as he was.
How many times has that been imitated over the years?
A few thousand. That moment was voted the top sports moment in Los Angeles history.
Wow.
Not long ago. I think it was a LA Times poll, and all the championships they've had out there, but that was the fans' favorite, the Gibson homer in the 88
Little
series.
leaguers practicing that move.
In there for a strike with the sink, and it's 2-1. Yeah, that stuck out because it seemed on the surface so impossible. He couldn't even walk.
Tommy Lasorda had a call into the clubhouse just to see if he was available.
And no one took Dennis Eckersley deep back then. That side is 3 balls and a strike. On deck hitters, the man with the home run so far in the night for Feldman. The only swing that's cost him, that would be John Jaso. That curve in there, the count runs full.
Three-one curveball, drops it right on the outside corner.
Inside, ball 4. First walk issued by Feldman. And now 2 on with 2 outs for Jaso.
Well, Jaso had the big hit so far in the ball game. 2-run homer to dead center field that just got out of the ballpark.
Only his second of the year. And the 1-for-13 skid. Feldman now at 61 pitches. Worked a crisp 9-pitch third. Curve for the strike. Our AT&T U-verse reverse replay. A 1-1 pitch. Almost made Greens Hill. They gave the Mariners the lead. They're trying to add to that lead here in the fourth. Roll foul 0-2. Tom, there's about to be some news made here. There will be a media conference, press conference in 12 minutes featuring Nolan Ryan and John Daniels.
Let me guess.
That's all that has been released, is that there will be a press conference, but you could probably guess what it entails. Crowd rising behind Feldman. The 0-2 pitch blocked by Torrealba.
Ranger catchers, whether it's Torrealba or Napoli, are so good at blocking that type of a ball in the dirt. If you're a pitcher, it just gives you the confidence that you can go out of your way to keep the ball down and out of the strike zone. And if you do bounce it, it won't be a wild pitch more often than not. Both the Ranger catchers are able to go down on their knees, not only block it, but keep it right out in front of them so no one can advance.
Slow roller fielded by Feldman, and the tag put on John Jaso to end the inning. Scored 1 U, no runs a hit, 2 left in the Mariner fourth.
We head to the bottom of the fourth, and the guy responsible for the Rangers' lone RBI in this game, Josh Hamilton, back in the lineup and up to the plate right now, despite being under the weather.
You're always concerned about it, but you know what? You get paid to play baseball, you go out and play unless you get something broke. So, or like I said, throwing up or other things. So, go play, and hopefully you can do something. Help team.
He's already done something tonight, and guys, something wicked going around that Rangers clubhouse. It seems for the last couple of weeks, every guy you talk to is battling something. So Josh definitely not the only one suffering the effects of that.
Hit high and deep, and Ichiro on the warning track makes the catch.
Well, that sure looked like a home run off the bat. He must not have hit it very well, obviously. Very well for Josh. Must have hit it off the end of the bat a little bit. that kind of a ball with that kind of trajectory, usually Josh doesn't have to hit it very hard to get it into the front row. I thought for sure that ball was a home run off the bat.
So instead of a tie game, 1 out. And here's Beltre. He lined out to Ichiro to win the first inning.
Dave, the great T.R. Sullivan just came by and said that Jimmy Pearsall did circle the bases backwards. Not by running to third base, but by running backwards all the way around the bases. Backpedaling all the way around the bases. I'd heard that, but I, like you, had always assumed it meant that he went to third base, which made you wonder, would the run really count? And I wouldn't think it would if he went to third base.
Beltre ends up down on a knee.
So that makes sense.
Grounds out to Seager. But you know what? I think it's a better story if he runs third to second to first to home. So let's go with that.
Well,
let's go with that.
You can go with that, but I think you'll find out it wouldn't have counted as a home run.
The legend's better than the fact you go the legend. There are several legends about Jimmy Pearsall.
Yeah, I had the pleasure of being a Ranger outfielder when Jimmy Pearsall was one of our outfield instructors during spring training. Billy Martin hired him. And there weren't many better center fielders back then than Jimmy Pearsall.
Michael Young flied to right. Back in the second innings. What a busy evening so far for Ichiro. Made all 3 putouts in the third. The first out here in the fourth. Total of 5 putouts his way through 3 2/3. Now 6 putouts for Ichiro. That one is low and away. 3 balls and a strike. Nelly Cruz would be next if Michael can reach. Keep his hitting streak going. With a couple of 3-hit games in these last 4 for Michael. High fly ball. Right field. And again, it is Ichiro's ball. 8 in a row set down by Jason Vargas. Through 4, he leads 2-1. They celebrate the 40th anniversary. May 29th, 1974. Brad Corbett leads a group of investors and purchases the Texas Rangers from Bob Short, the man who brought them here from Washington, D.C.
You know, Dave, if Brad Corbett had the same kind of money that George Steinbrenner had, you would have heard about Brad Corbett in the same vein that you heard about George Steinbrenner. He would have been one of the most colorful owners in the history of baseball. He was. He just wasn't here very long. What a great guy. He was only about 35 years old when he bought the team.
Well, he made his share of headlines.
He did.
Even without the Steinbrenner bank account. 1-0 to Saunders, who flied to center his first time up. Saunders to be followed by Ryan and Ackley here in the 5th. That will reach the seats, back out of play. Also time for our AT&T trivia question. What famous comedian did Bob Short outbid for the Washington Senators in 1968? This is one that, well, you really know your baseball and your comedy, for that matter, if you know the answer to this question. 2 balls, 2 strikes. This man who at one point owned a piece of another American League team. So going after the Senators back then. '70th pitch on the way from Feldman. 3-2. He's allowed only 3 base hits. He has walked only 1. And just 2 strikeouts, so giving the Mariners to put the ball in play, let the defense do their jobs behind him. Vargas has allowed only 1 Ranger hit so far. And the ground ball to Kinsler for the first out. Mark McLemore is up with us for the 5th inning. Welcome.
Thank you.
Have to be pretty impressed by this outing for Scott Feldman.
I like what I'm seeing. He's throwing a lot of first pitch strikes, getting ahead of the hitters. You know, so far he's just made the one mistake to Jaso. But other than that, he's been throwing strikes, keeping the ball down in the zone. Very impressive.
So far, Vargas just a slight bit more impressive. 1 gone here in the 5th. Brendan Ryan struck out and lines this one into the left field corner. He was ready for that first pitch. Hamilton comes up firing, but it's a stand-up double for Ryan.
That ball was tailing in on his fists, but he got the good part of the bat on the ball. He missed a sinker the first time up and struck out, but that ball didn't sink down very much.
That brings Feldman back to the top of the order, and Dustin Ackley, who is lined to short and struck out. Two chances now to extend this lead. And the first pitch is fouled back. Ackley cold at the moment, 3 for his last 24.
Mac, did you hear the question we asked on a home run? The guy breaks his leg. What happens?
I did hear that.
The great T.R. Sullivan strikes again.
Imagine that.
He came back with a rule book. When an accident incapacitates a player or an umpire. I'm going to wait till this pitch. If an accident to a runner, such as to prevent him from proceeding to a base to which he is entitled on a home run, blah, 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 a substitute runner shall be permitted to complete the play. That's kind of what we thought. But now there's a definitive answer. It is a home run, and a runner can complete the play.
2-1 to Ackley.
I can't see
See,
any.
here'd be the thing. Who gets credit? I guess the guy that hit the ball gets credit for the run, even though the other guy ran around the bases and touched home plate. Does he get credit?
I think it's the other guy who gets the credit for the run.
Does the other guy get the home run?
Because you couldn't get a home run without a run.
Let's get TR back in here. We've got another issue.
I'll go back. They're getting sick of me in the press box. They want you to know your own answers instead of asking all the time.
Curve is low, 3 balls and a strike. Well, that would lead you to think that it must have happened at some point for there to have something that specifically spelled out in the eventuality it should happen again. But none of us have seen it, and I think none of us expected to see it in our lifetimes. But good to know the rules people are on top of it. There's ball 4.
I think the closest that we've come, or I've come to seeing it, is Kirk Gibson's home run in the World Series.
Yeah,
that's about it.
That was close.
And we were just talking about that being voted the top sports moment in Los Angeles history a few years ago. And my memory is not just because it didn't look like he could even walk, but because it happened off of Dennis Eckersley when he was untouchable back then.
Believe me, he was extremely untouchable. I never touched him. I never got close to touching him. And not very many people did. But to do that off of Dennis Eckersley in his prime in the World Series on the biggest stage there is, and a walk-off, it doesn't get much better than that.
You know, an interesting part about that home run, in the advanced scouting report that the Dodgers received from Mel Didier. Mel was a scout with a lot of teams, also the Rangers, but a very famous scout. In Mel's scouting report, he said that Eckersley likes to throw his backdoor slider when the count is 3-2. And the count got to 3-2, and Gibson credits that scouting report as one of the reasons he was able to hit that backdoor slider out of the ballpark.
As you saw, Robbie Ross throwing in the bullpen. And Feldman works to Alex Liddy.
I think most people thought the A's had the better team going into the World Series, but that home run completely shifted things toward the Dodgers, and they obviously won easily.
And the Dodgers were a little bit on edge anyway, because somehow word got to them that Bob Costas had opened that telecast by saying this may be the worst starting lineup ever to take the field in a World Series game.
Wow.
They didn't have very many sticks, but they didn't need them, as it turned out.
Boy, I would think Bob Costas. Well, I guess he wasn't smart enough not to say that. But that, as great as Bob Costas is, that's something I wouldn't expect him to say. Let's put it that way.
Very surprising.
If you go back and look at that lineup, you'll see where he was coming from.
Yeah, I know, but still.
You get to a World Series.
Opening day of the World Series, that's what you start out with?
You're doing something right if you're in the World Series.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, they had Oral Hershiser that year. That was one very right thing. Well, Feldman here in the 5th. They bring a little bit. Got Saunders to ground out, then the Ryan double, followed by the Ackley walk. Liddy has flied to center and popped to first so far. But remember, 6 days ago, he took Scott deep for a grand slam, first of his career. Swings right through that one, 1-2.
Well, Scott is challenging him. He's not shying away. He's not giving in. He's going right after him.
This crowd has not had that much to get loud about so far. They are now trying to help Feldman get through this inning and this at bat. Checks his swing. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Again, Ranger catcher blocking a ball in the dirt. They are so good at that.
You know, that gives a pitcher so much confidence, especially a curveball pitcher or a sinker ball pitcher, to know that if they bounce a pitch, more than likely one of these 2 catchers is going to block it and keep the runners from advancing.
Runners are going, swing and a miss, throw to third, not in time. And it's a double steal for Ryan and Ackley.
No, he just stole the base. And great camera work and an excellent call by the umpire.
Ron Culpa in this case, right on top of it. So 2 outs, but now 2 in scoring position for Ichiro. who was grounded to the mound and to first so far. He's 1 for 6 in the series.
Now, normally in a situation like this, runners at second and third and Ichiro up with 2 outs, most managers would intentionally walk him in the situation, but with the way he's been going so far this year, they're going to go after him.
Yeah, I guess, Mac, I agree with you. The reality is I'd rather face Ichiro right here than Montero.
Right.
The only problem with Ichiro right here in this kind of a game with a man on third is any kind of one of those little choppers that he beats out costs you a run. So I guess he's in that way can be dangerous.
You mean one of the 80 that he gets every year?
Yeah, don't get me going on that.
Well, now they will go ahead and put Ichiro on to load the bases for Jesus Montero.
Yeah, I think Montero is a more dangerous hitter, but Ichiro, he's going to put the ball in play. He's going to slap it somewhere, and if he hits one of those little dribblers by the pitcher, he could beat it out, knock in a run. I think that's what Wash is probably saying right there.
So here's Montero, who has twice flied out. By the way, the press conference is ongoing right now involving Nolan Ryan and John Daniels, and Emily Jones is in attendance. We'll bring you the news very soon. Right now, bases loaded, 2 outs. Ryan at third, Ackley at second, Ichiro at first. On a double and a couple of walks. Ross continuing to throw out the Ranger bullpen.
One thing an intentional walk does, though, is it makes it absolutely important to throw strikes. You can't walk anybody now.
Toward the hole. Beltre comes up with it, but the throw sails past Napoli. And Ryan comes home. Ackley right behind him.
Beltre's hand. He actually did the hard part by getting to the ball. And then after he threw the ball, it looked like it slipped out of his hand.
Yeah, you can see him go down here, and his right hand, his throwing hand, gets into that mud, and he comes up with it and probably just didn't get a good grip on it.
Yep, that's exactly what happened. Don't have time to wipe the sand off your hand. That's too bad. Scott had made a pitch, gotten the ground ball, and most of the time he would have been out of the inning.
So, a couple of unearned runs chasing here in the 5th. All in all, he was pretty sharp tonight, but he gives way to Robbie Ross, trailing 4-1. The third out of this fifth inning. Meanwhile, here is the news from the press conference. Roy Oswalt has agreed to terms with the Rangers pending the outcome of the physical on a minor league contract. And as soon as the physical is passed upon signing, he is expected to join AAA Round Rock at some point this weekend. So the Rangers, in the absence of Neftali Feliz on the disabled list with inflammation in his elbow, have made a move to go with one of the winningest pitchers in baseball since he broke in with the Astros in 2001. Roy Oswalt is a Ranger. And here's Seager, who has singled a double. If you look at Ross's numbers on the year, very impressive. That story became a not very well kept secret as this day and evening went on here at the ballpark, but now it's been made official.
Well, secrets have never been easily kept in baseball, but they're almost impossible in the age of technology that we're in right now. A lot more people trying to find answers today than there were 40 years ago.
Ground ball, and Napoli will shovel to Ross. 200 runs, stretch the lead for Seattle here in the fifth. On only one base hit, one costly error. The Rangers, and it'll be Cruz, Napoli, and Torrealba to bat against Jason Vargas, who has allowed only one base hit so far. That was a first inning double by Andrews, who came home on a ground out by Josh Hamilton. And Jason Vargas working on a string of 8 straight. 12 of the last 13 Rangers retired. Nelson Cruz, his first time up, worked the only walk so far, served up by Vargas. And 1 ball and 1 strike.
Between innings, Mac, I checked my messages and I got a message from one of your old teammates, Rusty Greer. It actually came in before TR brought the rule book down and said that in an Arizona Fall League game that he was playing in, a guy did hit a home run, blow out his knee, and they allowed a pinch runner to go around the bases. So wow. We've got a practical application and a rules interpretation. So thanks to TR, thanks to Rusty.
Okay, Rusty, since you're watching, we need to know who was credited with the run scored.
Ah, see, there you go.
There's the other half of the question.
Call strike 3. So again, the announcement just in the last few minutes, the Rangers have signed Roy Oswalt to a minor league contract, and Rangers president Nolan Ryan talked about the reasons why.
When you look at our ball club, with my relationships with him, Jackie Moore, Mike Maddox, I think he's and knows some of our players, so I think he's familiar with us. He's pitched here. So I think there were a lot of things, and I think it's in close proximity to his home. So I think all those things came into play, and then probably the fact that, we're in a pennant race.
Here's Napoli, who grounded to third his first time up. Assuming he gets up here and is healthy, he's had some history of lower back problems in his last few years. But given a healthy Roy Oswalt, what does that do for this already pitching-rich Ranger team?
Well, I think what it does is it solidifies the starting rotation again. It gives you that fifth starter, and it also gives Scott Feldman the opportunity to go back to the bullpen to that long man role. If you look at the injury to Feliz, you've got a spot to fill there, and if you try to fill that spot with Scott Feldman, not that he can't do the job, but then you're bringing Scott into that situation and putting him back in the rotation. He's got to build up that arm strength, and he's still got some adjustments that he needs to make, so you're working on that. And then you're also going to have to fill that other spot in the bullpen that Scotty just vacated. So I think leaving Scotty where he's been all year and most of last year is a good idea, and then just finding somebody to fit that fifth starter spot. And if Roy Oswalt is healthy, he can be very, very dominating. So I think it's a really good move.
Line, but foul, 3-2 to Napoli. Roy Oswalt, a three-time All-Star with the Astros, 05, 06, 07. Finished in the NL's top 6 in Cy Young voting on 6 different occasions, as high as third place in 04. A year behind his teammate Roger Clemens and Randy Johnson. 2 20-win seasons, 04 and 05. 5 seasons of at least 15 wins. Since he arrived in the majors in 01, only pitchers with more wins: CC Sabathia, Roy Halladay, and Mark Burley.
Hey, watching Vargas pitch a nice game. This guy can really pitch, boy. Got the 8th best opponent's batting average in the league. His ERA is about 3.4. Might get it up to about 88 miles an hour, but he can throw that changeup whenever he wants. Makes the fastball look like it's about 94 miles an hour.
Napoli's making him labor, though. This will be at least a 10-pitch at bat.
Yeah, and he's only with 10 pitches in this at bat. He's only thrown 59 pitches.
Low. Ball 4. Let's go back to our Fox Sports Southwest studio for a Mazda CX-5 game break. Here's Rick Renner. All right, Rick, and Yorvi Torrealba will be the batter. He struck out his first time up. Cruz leading off this inning, the only other strikeout for Vargas. So it's been a matter of pitching to contact, pitching well. Just issued his first walk. First pitch to Torrealba comes in high. High pop-up.
Doesn't see it. Shortstop doesn't see it. Left fielder doesn't see it.
They almost find it in time. It's off the glove of Ryan.
Ryan didn't see that off the bat. He had his hands out the minute that ball went up in the air. He looked to the left fielder for help. The left fielder couldn't see it. Generally, it's the outfielder that can't see it. The infielder picks it up, but Mac, I guess that sky is just about perfect for that, isn't it?
It is. This is the tough time of day right now. You've got a little overcast, a little haze up in the air, and it's really the same color as the baseball. I think a lot of people don't realize that baseballs get rubbed up with dirt, with mud before the game, so they're not actually white. They're almost the color of the infield dirt. So That looks like what's going on right above the stadium right now.
Well, that's a break for the Rangers, and the Mariners took advantage of a break on a rare error by Adrian Beltre to score 2 runs. Hopefully the Rangers can take advantage of this.
This is being scored a single for Torrealba, just the second Ranger hit of the night, and here is Gentry. Craig flied to right his first time up.
Rangers have actually gotten a couple of breaks. That 3-2 pitch to Napoli looked like a pretty good pitch. Went for ball 4. Torrealba's pop-up was an easy out if he could have seen it. We got 2 men on.
In there on the back door, breaking ball, 1 ball, 1 strike. First Ranger base runners since back in the 2nd inning. They only had 4 men on the entire game. And that just misses. 2-1. Craig trying to snap it 0 for 13 here. And for Vargas, looking for a shutdown inning. This is way more run support than he is accustomed to getting. Foul tips that one.
Another changeup. But he's behind in the count. 2-0, 2-1. 3-2, 3-1. You've got a great chance to see a changeup. Looks just like his fastball. It's about 8 miles an hour slower. And it's giving the Rangers fits tonight, along with a lot of other teams. They just can't gear up to hit a fastball in that situation.
This will be his 22nd pitch of the inning. And it misses. Full count.
It looks like to me a lot of these Rangers hitters have eliminated Vargas's fastball. They're not even really offering at it. They're waiting on the changeup because they know they're going to get it.
Well, let's see what he throws here. 2-2 pitch was a fastball. What's the 3-2 pitch going to be? Changeup.
Going to be ball 4 to load the bases.
Vargas came into the game with 2.1 walks per 9 innings, the 10th best walk ratio in the league. Only walked 17 batters in 71 innings, but the Rangers have worked him for 3 walks in the game, 2 this inning. Got to take advantage of this shot right here.
Ian Kinsler has flied to center and right so far tonight. 0 for 6 in the series. Hard shot, knocked down by Ryan. 2nd for 1, on for the double play. And he is showing some frustration. Hit that ball hard, but right to Ryan. The Rangers fail to score with the bases loaded. as we move to the 6th inning, but this is the news made at the ballpark here tonight. Roy Oswalt, one of the best pitchers of his era, signed by the Rangers to a minor league contract, and general manager John Daniels talked about his time frame now.
He's actually going to drive down here on Thursday, take his physical. Assuming all goes well there, he'll drive down to Round Rock Friday. They're in Memphis, but they're home starting on Saturday, and assuming all goes well with the physicals, he would make his debut for Round Rock on Saturday.
And then, he was laid off so far all season. We'll see how long it takes him to get stretched out to the point where he can be of use to the big league club. Emily Jones?
Yeah, and they didn't want to put any timeline on that, how much time he'll spend at Round Rock before making his major league debut, so to speak, here with the big club. So that means that the Rangers now have time to figure out exactly what roster move they'll make when they bring him up. So lots of decisions to be made, not only in the immediate future, but also the distant future when Neftali Feliz gets healthy and is ready to come back as well.
Yeah, there's some obvious questions that will come up there for Neffy, whose transition to the rotation has been, at least for the time being, cut short, not quite 2 months into the season. 3-0 to Justin Smoke. Briefs on the fielder's choice in the 2nd, scored on the Jaso homer, and walked in the 4th. That one's in there for a strike. Ross got the last out of the 5th, relieving Feldman after 88 pitches. And that one's driven foul, and it's 3-2 for Scott. 4 2/3 innings, 4 runs, 2 unearned on 4 hits, 3 strikeouts, and he walked 3. Not a time left in this one, but the Rangers have been really throttled so far by Jason Vargas, only run on 2 hits. And inside for ball 4, it's a leadoff walk for Justin Smoke, and it's time to answer our AT&T trivia question. What famous comedian did Bob Short outbid for the Washington Senators in 1968? Bob Hope. Raise your hand if you knew that. No, you didn't. Nobody knew that. Did you know that? No, you were with me.
I would have said no. I had no idea who it was.
I remember him having.
I would have said Danny Kaye, but I don't think he was even really he was more of a singer and dancer than a comedian, wasn't he?
Danny Kaye had an early piece of the Mariners.
Yeah, and when you said he had a piece of another team, that's why I thought maybe it was Danny Kaye.
Bob Hope had a piece of the Indians.
Ah, didn't know that either.
John Jaso. Right back to Ross. Look what I found. How about a 1-6-3 double play ball?
That's definitely not panicking. That's knowing who's running and taking your time and making a good throw. Nice play. That's fielding your position very well. He caught that ball. Not an easy ball to catch. A hard hit ball right at him. And Robbie took his time and turned the double play.
So now Michael Saunders, with the bases empty, he is flied to center and grounded to second. From Victoria, British Columbia, and he slices a base hit to left field. To celebrate 40 years of baseball in the Metroplex, Metro PCS and Southwest Airlines are offering a chance to win a trip for 4 to watch your home team play in Los Angeles. Register to win at metropcsflyaway.com. Another good crowd, not sold out tonight, but for a weeknight, not bad at all. 90 degrees when we got started. Fans patiently waiting for a Ranger rally. Brendan Ryan has struck out, doubled, in the front end of a double steal, and scored. Ryan and Ackley scoring on the throwing error by Beltre in the 5th. And Ross to the plate, and he delivers a strike. Brandon Ryan at the moment hitting 180. He would jump at what he hit last year, 248. Didn't seem like much at the time, perhaps. But known to have bad first halves and much improvement at the second half. 2 years ago, he was hitting 194 at the break, at 252 the rest of the way. Big cut and a miss. And it's 0-2. Close tabs on Saunders over at first. And foul back, still 0-2. It's kind of a year for Ryan where he still has almost as many runs as he has hits. He has 24 hits and has scored 21 runs. I like how he plays shortstop. High pop up on the right side. Napoli just in fair territory for out number 3. So no runs a hit and a man left. Andrews to lead off the Ranger 6th. Tonight's jackpot is worth $100 and dinner for 2 at a Sonic Drive-In. And tonight the Rangers are hitting for Cody Lee from Heath. If a Ranger hits a grand slam during this inning, Cody Lee wins $25,000. You could register at any participating Sonic restaurant. And in the 6th, it's Andrews, Hamilton, and Beltre. Elvis doubled his first time up. There's been only one Ranger hit since then. That was a single by Torrealba in the 5th.
Yeah, and that was pop up to shortstop that got lost in the twilight. Tough part of that last inning was that smash that Kinsler hit right at Ryan. Knocked it down and turned it to double play.
Sharply bounced past Ackley, and Elvis Andrus has his second.
That's the bounce we were looking for on Kinsler's ball.
Where's that been? Fourth leaderboard tonight, RBI leaders in the American League. This is as of this minute. Josh with an RBI ground out in the first is 54th, 13 more than Edwin Encarnacion and 14 more than Miguel Cabrera, with Cruz and Beltre also there in the top 8.
You're looking at the comeback player of the year on that list. Right now it's a no-brainer. Adam Dunn.
Here's a high drive, deep center field. Saunders is back. It's on the hill. A 2-run blast by Hamilton.
I thought Josh had one his last time up. It went to the warning track in right field. But I guess it does show you that he didn't hit that one very well because he powered that one onto Greens Hill.
Number 21 for Hamilton. RBIs 55 and 56, and Cody Lee wins $100 and dinner for 2 at a Sonic Drive-In.
That's, I'm sure, not where Vargas was trying to throw that pitch.
Beltre goes after the first pitch and fouls it off. He's lined to right and grounded to third. 409 feet.
Oh,
that
boy.
guy never misses.
Misjudged by the big guy out in center field. Bad day.
Twilight factor, I guess.
This goes to show you anybody can have a bad day, I guess. Better put those shades on, kid.
Still not feeling 100% because of the upper respiratory issues, but tonight he's driven in all 3 Ranger runs and has energized this crowd. Rangers ballpark haven't had a whole lot to yell about so far. Emily?
Well, he wasn't bashful about just how bad he felt, and when I went in to talk to Wash before the game, Wash said, look, if he doesn't make it through BP okay, we'll reassess the situation. I'll take him out of the lineup and give him another day. So all indications are he went through BP fine and looks to be swinging the bat just fine.
Yes, he does. Riding through it a little bit tonight. Adds to his own franchise record, his 12th home run for the month of May. Oh, that one is dribble foul. Still 3-2 for Adrian. Adrian 0 for 2. Yet to extend a 7-game hitting streak. Start of the day is the number 6 hitter in the AL at .318. Ground ball, Dustin Ackley. All you can eat seats are available in Upper Home Run Porch for every game and include unlimited grilled chicken sandwiches, hot dogs, nachos, peanuts, popcorn, and soft drinks, all for one low price. The all-you-can-eat menu is served in the air-conditioned Upper Home Run Porch Grill. So get your tickets today at TexasRangers.com or by calling 972-RANGERS. One gone. And here's Michael Young, who is twice flied out to Ichiro in right field. Vargas about to throw his 82nd pitch. Strike at the knees. And Alexi Ogando now throwing out the Ranger pen.
That's good to see Alexi up and throwing. We were a little worried about him the other day when he got hit by that ball back to the mound, but had a little soreness, missed yesterday's game. Might have missed it anyway. He pitched 2 days in a row. Right back on the hill now.
And he took that shot kind of in the heel of his right palm. The 0-2 to Michael. Outside. .245 hits in his career against the Mariners, and only Cal Ripken Jr. had more. Right center field. Michael Saunders for out number 2.
Right fielder, Nelson Cruz.
And that will bring up Cruz, who has walked and struck out today. Mariners 4 runs on 5 hits, no errors, 5 left. Only 2 of the runs earned. For the Rangers, 3 runs on 4 hits, 1 error, and they have left 3. And a ground ball to the shortstop Ryan, and Cruz retired on 1 pitch, but Josh Hamilton gets the Rangers within a run with his 21st home run of the year. It's 4-3. Drive the 2012 F-150 Motor Trend Truck of the Year. Ford is the best in Texas. By AT&T, the nation's largest 4G network. AT&T, rethink possible. And by Jack in the Box. Right now you can try Jack's Chipotle Chicken Club Combo for only $4.99 plus tax. Dave Barnett and Tom Green, we move to the 7th. It's 4-3 Seattle. Between innings, Robbie Ross came out of the dugout, and Alexio Gondo came out of the bullpen. He thought he was being called on to begin the inning. Turned out a little premature, but nice to know he's ready.
He might be coming into the game, but what could be happening is Wash wanted the lefty Ross to face the lefty Ackley before he brings him in, or he might want Robbie to pitch this whole inning, because 2 out of the 3 hitters, including Suzuki, are left-hand hitters, so we'll see.
2-0 to Ackley, who was lined to short, struck out, walked and scored. 3 balls, no strikes. Finds a corner. Chopper just over Ross, and no play for Elvis. Still showing some amazing range to even get to that ball. Comes down with a grimace, walking something off here.
A couple of years ago, Elvis would have thrown that ball, but he thought better of it that time. No play. See if we can see if he does anything on that play. Something bothered him after he threw it.
Well, not that we can see there. Then the facial expression started to change. And it was in Washington's mind to let the lefty pitch to Ackley. Now the righty Ogando in with Alex Liddy next up. Right back to Robbie Ross. The bat of Jaso turned into a 1-6-3 double play in the 6th inning. But here, with Ogando replacing Robbie Ross, Eric Wedge goes to a left-handed pinch hitter in Mike Karp. With nobody out, Dustin Ackley at first. Karp with some power. 4 homers, 22 games. Alex Liddy, while he was in there, went 0 for 3. Karp, first time ever on an opening day roster this year. He was their left fielder on opening day, and a big cut and a miss at that one. 1 ball, 1 strike. Karp to be followed by Ichiro. Can't catch up at 96, and it's a ball and 2 strikes. Robbie Ross went an inning at a third. No runs so far, but Ackley's his property at first on 2 base hits. Didn't strike out anybody and issued 1 walk. Foul tip off Torrealba. Shake that one off.
Ogando's thrown 4 pitches. One was 94, 95, 96, then 97. Just got a piece of that. Unfortunately, got a big piece of your V.
Right off the mask. Right about chin high, it looked like. He is ready again for the 1-2 pitch. Alexei scored on 4 of his last 5 games. His previous 13 appearances, 15 1/3 scoreless innings. There's a swing and a miss for out number 1.
There's just a lot of heat right there. Carp had a lot of healthy swings at him. They look like he swung underneath every one of them.
It'll bring up Ichiro, who was grounded out twice and last time up intentionally walked. That was so Feldman could work to Jesus Montero. And ground ball gobbled up by Beltre resulted in a throwing error charge to Adrian and 2-run scoring in the 5th. One ball, one strike. Saturday on Baseball Night in America, the Yankees head to Detroit to take on Prince Fielder and the Tigers as both teams look to gain ground in their divisional races. Or the Reds battle the Astros. Baseball Night in America telecast presented by Budweiser begins Saturday at 6 p.m. Central only on Fox. Check your local listings for the games and start time in your area. Tigers losing at Boston 6-3.
That's Justin Verlander getting roughed up by the Red Sox.
And a base hit out to center field. Ichiro has his first hit. Ackley down to second base. Mariners with 1 out have 2 men aboard for Montero. At the Detroit-Boston game just moving into the bottom of the 8th at Fenway Park. Toronto leading Baltimore 8-4, top of the 9th at Rogers Center.
Yeah, Cleveland is going to lose. Chicago's going to win. White Sox going to be in first place. They've won 10 out of 11.
Montero has flied to right, flied to left, and reached on the Beltre error. High fly ball with some slice on it. Well hit, but it is foul. Oakland and Minnesota are scoreless in the bottom of the 6th inning. Good game at Target Field. Just underway, top of the 1st. Yankees at the Angels. That's Andy Pettit against Dan Heron. White Sox won at Tampa Bay 7-2. Kansas City won at Cleveland 8-2. A little bit low, 1-1. Mariners 11 games back, 4th place in the West. Angels start play 6.5 down, but with a 7-game winning streak. Fouled off 1-2. And the A's with a 6-game losing streak have fallen to 9 games behind the Ranger pace. Angels have made it to 500. It took 50 games, but they're there at 25-25.
They won a wild game last night against the Yankees, 9-8. Mark Trumbo walk-off home run in the bottom of the 9th.
One ball, 2 strike pitch to Montero is foul back. these games, it feels like things are arriving on every single pitch. Any pitch could determine the final outcome of this thing, and we're only in the 7th inning, but it has that feel. Royals have 2 in the top of the 9th at Toronto, still batting. Now within 2 at 8-6. Thought about it, thought better of it, and it's 2-2. Same 2 teams tomorrow night at 7 on Fox Sports Southwest. Derek Holland against Blake Bevan. And an off day Thursday when the Rangers fly west to open a series at Anaheim Friday. Line to right toward the gap goes Cruz, and he makes the catch. And now the throw back to second base. Ackley was all the way to third, and it's an inning-ending double play.
Thank you very much. Nice play by Nelly. Growing accustomed to seeing plays like that from the Ranger outfield.
Looks up and sees the easy pickings with Andrews waiting on the bat. Our in-game box score. Rangers with only 4 base hits. Elvis has 2 of them, and he scored 2 of the Ranger runs. Hamilton scored the other on his 2-run homer back in the 6th. But from Beltre down through Gentry, only 1 base hit. Napoli has grounded to third and walked. He'll be followed by Torrealba and then Gentry. And after hitting for Alex Liddy, Mike Karp stays in the game out in left field. Two-0 pitch in there on the inside corner. Vargas' next pitch will be his 90th. Also makes it 2 balls and 2 strikes. They got double-barreled action out of their bullpen. The right-hander is Sean Kelly, and the lefty is Lucas Licky. The 2-2. Outside, he thought he had it. B.J. Rayburn disagreed, 3-2. High pop-up. Out into shallow right field. Ackley or Ichiro. It is Ichiro finally there for the out. So there's one. Napoli 0 for 2. And it brings up Torrealba, who has struck out and singled.
The one thing you feel comfortable with the Rangers in a one-run game is they lead the major leagues in home runs. And there's a lot of guys in the lineup that can hit them. Home run's been a huge part of the success they've had on this homestand. Hamilton's game winner, Napoli's 3-run homer, a game winner.
He reaches up, tomahawks that high pitch foul. And it's 0-2. Tigers and Red Sox now in a rain delay in the bottom of the 8th at Fenway. Sox leading 6-3. A little bit low. And down Anaheim, nothing for the Yankees in their half of the first against Dan Harrod. Angels now batting in the bottom of the first against Andy Pettitte. Ground ball to the third baseman Seager. 2 gone in the bottom of the 7th. So we look at our Chevron upcoming pitcher matchup. Blake Bevan, former first-round pick by the Rangers, against Derek Holland, who will be going for his 5th win. 7 o'clock tomorrow on Fox Sports Southwest. Emily, is there, I'm told, breaking news about Derek Holland?
Well, take a good, long, hard look at that mustache, because tomorrow it will be gone. Derek Holland has informed us he will be shaving the mustache. I think it's taken him 3.5 years to grow out. He'll be shaving it tomorrow, and he will be mustacheless when he takes the hill.
Now, will you and your camera be there to record the historic moment?
He actually invited Jeff Irwin, our photographer, to wake up bright and early and watch him shave at his house. I don't think Irwin's going to take him up on that. Plus the clip.
Does he need a razor? Does he need a razor to do it?
I don't know. I think maybe if he rubbed it really hard, it would go away.
Yeah, just kind of pick it out.
Yeah. But it's going away. It'll be a sad day for a lot of people.
Can you name any?
Yeah.
There actually is a Twitter account in honor of Derek's mustache.
Wow.
So I'm not sure what's going to happen to that Twitter account.
Well, Derek the other day was saying that before he got his hair cut, he got it all cut off, he was thinking about leaving the hair in back as long as it was and just going with the mullet to end all mullets.
I will tell you the happiest person about this, his fiancee Lauren.
She probably had a lot to do with it.
I can attest to that. I know Lauren is going to be thrilled to see the mustache gone.
So she was a vote against the mullet?
She never wants to keep Derek down and not let him be the man that he is, but I think she could do without the mustache.
There's a line drive and a base hit by Craig Gentry.
Well, see if Vargas can keep Gentry on first base, because he's going to try to get a jump and steal right here.
Eric Wedge ready to go to his bullpen. Vargas at 101 pitches. So he leaves with the tie. August 8th and enter to win free Rangers tickets. Visit iloveontheborder.com for more details. Well, 2 outs. Craig Gentry at first. Here is Sean Kelly on for the 11th time this year. And he will face Ian Kinsler, who is 0 for 3. He's flied out twice, and last time he had a sharp ground ball that turned into a 6-4-3 double play, and Ian ended up slamming the batting helmet down in his frustration after he crossed first base, because he was up there with the bases loaded and 1 out. Well, another opportunity to help the cause here.
Pretty quick move by Kelly, and I'm sure he's been informed in pre-series meetings that if Gentry gets on, he will try to steal. We'll see if they can keep him from doing it.
Kelly spent most of last year recovering from Tommy John surgery, partial Tommy John surgery they call it. Part of this year with AAA Tacoma. This is his 8th game since being recalled. And drops the breaking ball in for a strike at the knees. Meanwhile, Mike Adams up and throwing out the Ranger bullpen. There goes Gentry. Here's the throw by Jaso. Not in time.
And Kelly was doing everything he could to keep him close. And he doesn't take a lot of time to deliver the ball to the plate. It's not like Craig had a great opportunity to take advantage of the pitcher. He just got a big lead, a good jump, and outran the play. Jaso's throw is a little bit on the shortstop side of second base, but that's what happens when you have to rush your throw for a guy like Gentry. And now it doesn't take 2 hits to score him. Just 1 single could do it.
And that is low. 2 balls and a strike. Gentry now 7 for 7 stealing since his one and only caught stealing in his career April 12th against the Seattle team. Team that has had big bullpen issues. Just had to replace Brandon League as a closer a few days ago. On the inside edge, and it's 2-2.
Slider inside corner.
Tying run in scoring position. Fights that one off the fists. Indians have been coming out of what was a rough month of May for the most part. Sunday he snapped his 27-game home run drought, tied his career high, 4 RBIs. Chance for a big RBI here. 3-2. Vargas goes 6 2/3 innings, allowing 3 runs on 5 hits, struck out 2, walked 3. Gentry his property out at second. Kelly ready with a 3-2 pitch. Loop to left center field. Saunders gets there for out number 3. So the Rangers threatened, but Gentry left in scoring position at the end of the 7th.
Impressive fan of the game. It has to be Dr. Greg Coots. He gets married this afternoon down on the field with his wife, Julie. They come all the way in from Beaumont. Why here at the ballpark, Greg?
I tell you, Jim, I love the Rangers. I love Nolan Ryan. He's been a hero of mine since I was a young child, and it's such an honor to be married out here.
All right, here's the bag. Here's the shirt. Congratulations. Any big plans after the game?
Jim, I can't tell you anything, but I'll give you a hint.
Oh, there we go. All right, big guy. There we go. Congratulations. What a day. And you're still in the tuxedo, the Penguin suit. All right, there you go, Dave.
Yeah, that wasn't much of a decision tonight on Fan of the Game.
Wow, there's a lot of good sports in that wedding party.
I don't think there was a runner-up tonight.
Wow.
Ogando throws strike one to Kyle Seager, who has singled, doubled, and grounded out. 4 runs, 7 hits, no errors, 6 left for Seattle. 3 runs on 5 hits, 1 error, 4 left for Texas. And it's 0-2. Fourth batter faced by Ogando. And that's driven deep to right field. Cruz is back, looking up, off the top of the wall. Seager will hang on at second base with his second double of the game. And boy, that was close to sailing into the Ranger bullpen to make it 5-3.
Well, Seager had seen the breaking ball, and he was ready for this one. That was not where Alexei was trying to throw that pitch. Right in his wheelhouse.
Inches from a homer. And he represents a large insurance run out there with nobody out. And Justin Smoke will be the batter. Smoke scored their first run back in the second after reaching on the field as Schwartz. Came home on the Jaso homer. Since then, he's walked twice. Smoke, of course, acquired with Blake Bevan. 2 others in the Cliff Lee trade July of 2 years ago. Last year, first full season in the majors. Just over the leap of Beltre. They will hold Seager at third with nobody out, runners on the corners. And John Jaso did it. Rangers got a break. That home run falling just shy by Seager. Not much of a break here as Beltre had to just go inches over the tip of his glove. So here's Jaso, 2-run homer his first trip. Bounced to the mound in the 4th. And grounded into a double play in the 6th. Corners in, edge of the grass. Kinsler and Andrews played it basically halfway. The first pitch in there at 96. Ogando's now faced 5 batters. 3 of them have hits. The other 2, a strikeout and an inning-ending double play.
The Rangers had the middle infielders at double play depth. Corner infielders about even with Bag. Usually would love to get a strikeout.
Grounded right through on the right side, a base hit. Kyle Seager scores, and it's 5-3 Seattle.
Hey, you don't see this very often against Ogando. 3 straight well-hit balls, especially by a team like the Mariners. But just goes to show you, even a team that doesn't score a lot of runs on any given night in the big leagues can swing the bats well and put up some numbers. That's what the Mariners are doing right now.
So Wash arrives to take the ball from Ogando, bring Mike Adams into the game. He inherits 2 men on, nobody out at a 2-run deficit. Up on Rangers Live. John?
Yeah, Dave, big show planned for you tonight. Of course, we'll give you all the normal post-game reaction to this one, no matter what happens. But lots happening, as you know, during the game. We'll get to more from the Nolan Ryan, John Daniels press conference about the acquisition of Roy Oswalt. That and so much more coming up right after the game. It's Rangers Live from here in the Captain Morgan's Club, guys.
All right, John, we will look forward to that. Mike Adams ready to try and stem this 8th inning, which has already produced 1 run on 3 straight hits off of Ogando.
Yeah, a tough situation, but you really got to stop this rally right now. It's 2 runs, the lead for Seattle. So Mike trying to come in, get a double play grounder, any way to get out of this inning and leave it a 2-run game. Give the Rangers a chance to come back late.
Ogando worked 1 inning plus 3 batters, and at this point 1 run on 4 hits, a strikeout, didn't walk anybody. Feldman, the starter, 4 2/3, 4 runs, 2 unearned, 4 hits. Robbie Ross worked a scoreless inning and a 1/3 on 2 base hits. So now it is Saunders, 1 for 3, 0 for 3 lifetime against Adams. Mike has retired all 9 batters he's faced in his last 3 outings. And a throw back behind Smoke at second base.
That's a pickoff play where the shortstop breaks toward third, hoping to get the runner at second to break off with him as the second baseman comes behind him to cover the bag for the pickoff play. That's the one the other day that went off Ian's glove into center field.
Ground ball just past a diving Kinsler. And they will hold Smoke at third. The bases are loaded with nobody out. Saunders gets his 2nd straight hit just past Ian. So now a strikeout would really be handy. Maybe better yet, pitcher home first double play. See what they can do with Brendan Ryan, who has struck out, doubled, and popped up. 0 for 4 against Mike. After his doubled in the 5th, he was the front end of a double steal. Ian Ackley scoring on the The throwing error by Beltre, which would have ended the inning. Infield in here. Ripped foul.
Mariners are swinging the bats here in the 8th inning. 4 straight hits. You add up the batting averages for the last 5 guys in the lineup, it's probably about 215 or 220. But you wouldn't know it the way they're swinging the bats here in the 8th inning against good pitchers.
No, you wouldn't. They're out hitting the Rangers now 11-5.
Over 162 games, strange things happen in baseball on any given night.
The 0-1 pitch. Mike Adams quite a bit tougher on left-handed hitters than righties. Right-handed hitters are 292 against him. Left-handed hitters 171. Ackley in the on-deck circle. Hits from the left side. The issue now is Ryan, and the 1-1 pitch is low. 2 balls and a strike. Mariners hope they are putting together finishing touches of a win that will end their losing streak at 5 and end the Rangers winning streak at 4. Three balls and a strike. Adams behind the 179, hitting Brendan Ryan, 9th man in their order. With Smoke at third, Jaso at second, Saunders at first. Nobody out. Big cut and a miss. Now a full count. $34,531 at Rangers Ballpark tonight. Start to hear them now trying to help Adams through this jam. 3-2 pitch is popped up and it will come back about 10-12 rows. We look ahead in the Rangers 8th, 2, 3, and 4 hitters, Andrews, Hamilton, and Beltre. And now Adams gets some volume from the crowd. The 3-2 pitch fouled off his leg.
In this kind of a situation here in the 8th inning, late in the game, 2-run game, nobody out, bases loaded. Manager doesn't like to play the infield in, but you just don't feel comfortable playing it back, turning a double play, giving up another run. So if they get a double play, it's going to be a home back to first double play.
Adams ready. The 3-2 pitch. Foul straight back. He'll have to do it all over again. This will be the 9th pitch of this at bat for Adams. Mostly trying to get him low and away. Chopped to short and bobbled by Andrews. Smoke comes home to make it 6-3.
Just one of those strange games. You got key errors by two very good defensive players, Adrian and Elvis, and you've got the bottom of the Mariner lineup swinging the bats great against two excellent relievers for the Rangers. Several things you don't expect to see in a game. Ball came up. Elvis just couldn't quite get a handle on it.
It didn't look like he took his eyes off. So an E6 charge to Andrews. And here is the top of the order, and Dustin Ackley. He's lined out, struck out, reached on a walk and scored. Last time up an infield hit. The two Seattle runs in the fifth, scoring as a result of Beltre's throwing error. And now Smoke is home on the Elvis error with Jaso now at third, Saunders at second. And Ryan at first. Infield still in. 1-1 pitch, 2 balls and a strike. That's low, and it's 3 balls and a strike.
Yeah, Mike's been forced to throw 14 pitches without getting an out here. Mark Lowe warming up.
He may be needed rather quickly. Here's the 3-1. And that's through the hole on the right side. A base hit. Jaso scores. Saunders is held at third. It is a 3-run 8th inning. And a 7-3 ball game.
Just swinging the bats, hitting the ball solidly, and finding some holes.
Second hit by Ackley drives in his 17th run of the season. And so Ogando now will turn his attentions to Mike Karp, who was the first man he faced in the 7th, hitting for Liddy, who went 0 for 3, and first man Ogando faced in the 7th, and Lexi struck him out. Karp's average at 153. Line to right. And Cruz started back. It bounces in front of him. That will score from third. Michael Saunders, pretty close play at second base, but it's now 8-3 Mariners.
Boy, this is painful. It's not anything big. It's just one base at a time. Nelly very seldom doesn't make the play on a line drive like that, but he took a step back, couldn't get it, and then almost made the play at second base. Made it a close play, almost got the force out there.
Sean Figgins running at first base for Karp. And no doubt will stay in the game at left field.
Well, you just can't get it out. 7 straight guys have reached.
Yeah, we've not seen an inning like this rung up against the Rangers all year. And now Ron Washington comes out and will make the move to Mark Lowe.
Well, you know, you might have some innings like this, but you don't expect it from the bottom of the Seattle lineup. Again, it just shows what can happen on any given night.
Rough night for Mike Adams. Faces 4 batters. Allows 3 base hits. And gives way now to Mark Lowe. High, you are encouraged to plan your trips to Rangers Ballpark in advance. Interleague play begins here at Rangers Ballpark on June 12th against the Arizona Diamondbacks. Reserve your seats for all the summer fun today at TexasRangers.com or call 972-RANGERS. So Mike Adams faces 4 batters. They all reached 3 hits, and Ryan on the throwing error, or the bobble at shortstop by Andrews. And now comes Mark Lowe with the bases still loaded to face the 8th Mariner to hit here in the 8th inning, and it's Ichiro, who is 1 for 3 with an intentional walk. The infield, of course, remaining in as he pops this one out in the shallow right field. And Cruz is coming home. The play at the plate, in there safely is Ryan as the throw bounding away from Torrealba. 9-3 Seattle.
Now Ryan coming in from third gets another chance to try to sneak by Mike Napoli. This time he makes it. Knapp has the plate blocked pretty well, but he was able to get around and tag it and make it to home plate last night on the attempted inside the park home run. Napoli blocked the plate perfectly to keep Ryan from scoring.
Ichiro with his 17th run batted in on the sac fly. And here is Montero, 0 for 4. Five runs so far here in the top of the 8th. Began with a Seager double, Smoke single, Jaso an RBI single. Adams replaced Ogando, gave up a single to Saunders. Ryan reaching on the air, and then back-to-back RBI singles by Ackley and Karp. So double play depth now as Lowe delivers and gets a chopper out to short. Andrews with the play at first, all there was on the not very hard hit ball, and there's out number 2. Ackley moves up to third, Figgins to second. And it brings up Kyle Seager. who has been retired only once in 4 trips, a single in the second, doubled in the fourth, ground out in the fifth, and he started this 8th inning with a double. Held up, as confirmed by Ron Kulpa down at third.
Good call.
So again, 2 balls, no strikes. Mariners got 2 in the second, 2 more in the fifth, and 5 runs have poured across here in the 8th. Lowe has retired the 2 batters he's seen. And working so deliberately, Seager steps out on him. In there for a strike at 94 miles an hour.
Well, Mark's really been throwing the ball well. His combination of mid-90s fastball and that hard slider he's thrown, he's changed his delivery slightly. It really seems like it's helped the command of his pitches, being able to throw it where he wants to, throwing more quality strikes, getting ahead of the hitters.
Can't catch up to that one either, and it's 2-2.
Mark, another Ranger bullpen guy with a strikeout to walk ratio that's impressive. 19 strikeouts and only 4 walks.
See if he can get Seager to wave it one more. Here's the 2-2, and it bounces past Torrealba. No throw at the plate. Ackley comes home to make it 10-3.
Well, this is just an inning where you say, okay, there's the inning. Let's get it out of our systems. It's just been kind of one at bat after the other where something bad happens. 6 runs in the 9th inning for Seattle. Wow.
Now ties the highest scoring inning all year by a Ranger opponent. High fly ball to right. Cruz finally puts away the 3rd out. But what an 8th inning for Seattle. They stretch the lead to 10-3. your Texas Ford dealers. Visit your local Ford dealer and drive the 2012 F-150 Motor Trend Truck of the Year. Ford is the best in Texas. And by the Progressive Insurance Group. For a money-saving car insurance quote, call 1-800-PROGRESSIVE today. Well, the Rangers will need their rally of the year here. As first pitch from Kelly to Elvis Andrus is ball one. Elvis doubled and scored in the first, fly to right in the third, led off the sixth with a single and scored on the Hamilton home run. So that's Seattle 8th, 6 runs, 4 of them earned on 6 hits. The Andrus error. And a 7-run lead. Adams did not retire batter. He's charged with 3 runs on 3 hits. And that foul back. Of the 3 runs on Adams' ledger, only 1 was earned. 3 unearned runs on the night. And another foul ball. Well back. Ground toward the hole. Thrown out by Ryan. And time now for our Jimmy John's delivery of the game. Josh Hamilton, first pitch he saw in the 6th. He liked a lot, and he drove 409 feet to center field, his 21st home run of the year. It was a 2-run shot. He brought in Elvis on a ground out in the first. Goes after this first pitch. And a high fly ball out to left field, where Figgins is there for the catch. So 2 outs, and the batter will be Beltre now. Adrian is 0 for 3. At top of the 8th, the second time this year for the Rangers to allow as many as 6 runs in an inning. It happened in the 4th inning, May 2nd at Toronto. And Beltre looks at a breaking ball for a strike. Beltre tonight is line to right and twice grounded out. At the knees at 94, 0-2. In Anaheim, the Angels got 3 in their half of the 3rd. Yankees batting top of the 4th, with LA leading that one 3-0. At Minnesota, they're bottom of the 8th. A's over the Twins 2-0. And they are playing again in Boston, which got a rain delay in the 8th inning. Tigers now batting top of the 9th, trailing 6-3. Launched high and deep to left field. Figgins on the wall. It's over his head. Into second base goes Adrian Beltre.
Another one of those balls that off the bat, you go, whoa, that's way out of here. It just barely got over Figgins' head. Inside pitch. Adrian fouled off a couple of pitches away down the right field line. then got one in. Just doubled just above Figgins' glove.
And that is Brandon Snyder, who will pinch run for Beltray. So Adrian tonight 1 for 4. And Michael Young will be the batter now, with 2 outs and the man in scoring position. 3 fly balls tonight for Young, 2 to Ichiro in right, 1 to Saunders in center. Michael 1 for his last 17 with runners in scoring position. Up and in for ball 1. Ball and a strike. Very unfamiliar feeling for Young and the Rangers, who have won 13 of the last 15 over Seattle in this ballpark. And the Rangers have won the last 4 season series. Three and 1 to Michael. For this game, the 3 crooked numbers that the Mariners have put up. 2 each in the 3rd and the 5th. And then the 6th and the 8th. Here's the 3-1. And that one will slice back foul into the seats. Out in their bullpen, the lefty is Lucas Litke. The right-hander is Tom Wilhelmsen. Outside, ball 4. And the Rangers have 2 on with 2 outs, and Nelson Cruz making his way to the plate. Actually, they're going to lift him now, and it's Mitch Moreland. So Ron Washington opting for the left-handed hitter. Cruz tonight walked, struck out, and grounded out. And with that comes a visit to the mound from Eric Wedge. And he will make the move here. So Kelly works an inning, allows a double and a walk. Lucas Litke coming in from their pen. the Rangers for the first time this year. 13 games over 500. 6.5 up the Red Hot Angels. 9 over Oakland. And 11 over the Mariners. Angels leading 3-1. Bottom of the fourth against the Yankees. Oakland leading 2-0 in the top of the ninth at Minnesota. A man from Brenham.
Got to a pretty nice start. Pitched 11 innings. Hasn't given up an earned run yet. Opponents are only hitting 184 against him. 12 strikeouts in 11 innings.
In there for a strike. It's swinging one of the hottest bats in the Ranger lineup. Didn't start against lefty Vargas today. 1 ball, 1 strike. Born in Brenham, product of Belleville High School, San Jacinto Junior College, and 1 year for Wayne Graham at Rice. Shot but well back foul. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Be careful, big guy. You got the ball, though.
Won't be easy to pry the ball out of his hands for a while. Here's the 1-2 and a nice stop by Jaso. Snyder could have moved up to third. Young to second. Put out the stop. Game in Boston resumed. It is now over. The Red Sox beat the Tigers 6-3. Waving at that pitch way out of the strike zone. So Lipke comes in, does the job, gets the last out of the 8th. It's 10-3 Seattle. Three Mariners lead, and with Joe Nathan on, did some work, pitched the 9th inning. He will face Smoke, Jaso, and Saunders. They're the scheduled hitters, with a number of defensive changes as well. Look at Joe's numbers on the year.
Yeah, it's just a case of Ron Washington and Mike Maddox wanting to keep their closer sharp. Joe is, like a lot of closers, late inning guys, likes to pitch a lot. Haven't been a lot of save opportunities. The Rangers have been winning, but a lot of them have been by a lot, by a big margin, where they're not save opportunities. So to stay sharp, going to come out and get an inning in this game.
Here are the Defensive changes. Brandon Snyder stays the game, takes over at third base for Beltray. Here's Alberto Gonzalez. He is now at shortstop, replacing Elvis. Out in left field, David Murphy takes over for Hamilton. And in right field, Mitch Moreland stays in the game. He has played a couple of games out there in right as a defensive replacement. Nathan gets the big breaking ball in for a strike. Fouls that off his foot, and it's 1-2. Looking ahead to the Ranger ninth, the bottom third of the order. Scheduled Napoli, Torrealba, Gentry. For Seattle tonight, 10 runs on 13 hits. No errors, 7 left. 3 runs on 6 hits, 2 costly errors for the Rangers, and 6 left by Texas.
That's that hard breaking ball. Down and in. Smokes walked a couple of times tonight. Hasn't walked a lot this year, but he's walked a couple of times tonight. Got him to chase that hard breaking ball.
So that's how Nathan records the first out. Now he'll face the catcher, Jaso, who is 2 for 4.
Same thing.
Jaso, 2-run homer in the second, got their scoring started. Then grounded out twice, singled in a run and scored in the 6th-run 8th. Fly ball has Murphy retreating. And the second out.
When a closer comes in this kind of a game for a little tune-up, the manager kind of holds his breath because he wants to get him the tune-up, but he wants to do it in probably less than 14 pitches. So it's a little tune-up, but it doesn't take much out of him, and he's perfectly ready for the next game. And Joe's on pretty good pace to do that. 2 outs, 6 pitches. Rangers have an off day Thursday as they get ready for the big series in Anaheim.
And the Rangers will face a very different looking Angel team compared to the one that came here just in the last couple of weeks. Pujols starting to hit some. Pitcher stayed solid. Broken bat, base hit. Out to shallow right center field. Saunders has a 3-hit night.
Shortstop Brendan Ryan.
And somebody's got a souvenir. Saunders at first. And now Brendan Ryan. Ryan tonight is 1 for 4. He's doubled, stolen a base. Last time reached on the air by Elvis Andrus. Two outs. Saunders at first. Nathan trying to keep this a 7-run game. And on the check swing, he gets rung up by Jim Wolf at first base. High and foul and well back. And a count of 0-2. Minneapolis is 2-0 Oakland, leading the Twins. The A's batting on the top of the 9th. And the 0-2 is low away for a ball. Several Ranger pitchers who have been working this year at a much faster pace really slowed this thing down. Low and in, and it's 2-2 to Ryan. Swing and a miss. So Nathan strikes out 2, 1 hit, 1 man left. And to the bottom of the 9th we go. And the fourth Seattle pitcher of the night, hard-throwing right-hander Tom Wilhelmsen.
Wilhelmsen's ERA is a little high at 4.44, but he's got a good arm. Throws hard, mid-90s, a lot of strikeouts, not many walks. I'm sure he'll get some of the closing opportunities with Brandon League still trying to work his way back into the closer's role.
So here is Napoli, who's grounded out, walked, and flied out. Right away, cut at a miss at a 96-mile-an-hour heater. Foul back, 0-2. Wilhelmsen ranked in a number of categories among American League relief pitchers, one of them being strikeouts. Fly ball out to right. Ichiro had the right angle. Back pedals to the end of the warning track for the first out. So one gone for Wilhelmsen. And now he gets Jorvi Torrealba. Jorvi has struck out, singled, and grounded to third tonight. Ground ball and an easy play at second for Dustin Ackley. Jorvi retired on one pitch and with 2 outs in the 9th inning. Craig Gentry will try and ignite the rally of the year if he has it in him tonight. He's fly to right, walked, and singled. also has a stolen base. So he's added 5 points to his batting average, up to 289. Wilhelmsen, it's the first pitch in there for a strike at 96. In there at the knees, says DJ Rayburn. Gentry and the Rangers down to their last strike. Breaky ball, rounded to third. Seager bobbles it, and Gentry is safe.
Well, Seager bobbled it because Gentry was running, and Seager knew he had to get rid of it on the run without much time to spare. Would have been a close play. But in his haste to get rid of the ball and throw on the run, he never got a grip on it with his right hand. And Gentry's safe. An error on Seager.
No, they're calling that a base hit.
Base hit, okay. I'll go along with that. I think the scorekeeper looked at that play, saw how quickly he had to try to get rid of it out of his glove. Thought that Gentry had a chance to beat it out anyway, so I'd definitely go along with that.
So Gentry kept it going to get another bat for Ian Kinsler at the top of the order. And Ian, very frustrated 0 for 4 in this game.
Well, he had the one tough at bat in the 5th with the bases loaded in a 1-run game. Hit the smash right at Ryan, a 1-hop smash. Kind of like the smash that was hit at Michael Young the other day at second base. Do or die play, and he got his glove on it, knocked it down, and turned a double play.
This one is well hit. Left center field. Saunders at the wall, and he makes the catch. And the Mariners take the win by a final of 10-3. Boy, off the bat, that really sounded good, looked good. But Saunders was able to make that catch well back on the warning track. And that evening this 3-game series at a game apiece. 10-3 Seattle. With Rangers Live shortly ahead.